I will show you 3 concepts that every solver needs to know if you want to solve very hard Sudoku. And with that, it's solving time. So the first concept is you got to start with the restrictions and find where they are in the puzzle. So start by looking for digit restrictions from 1 to 9 and mark any 3 by 3 blocks where candidates only appear 2 times. So you might see with this 1 and this 2 coming into block 4, the 1 and 2 can only be in these 2 spots. And since they can both be in those spots, that becomes a hidden pair and nothing else can be in those 2 cells. Greetings, friend. I want to thank NeoCart for this fantastic classic Sudoku. It is rated 1414, unfair by Sudoku, which means you need some chaining type strategies to solve it. It's very hard. But I'm going to show you how to bypass most of that by applying 3 concepts I have learned from solving hundreds of very hard Sudokus. And this leads me up to the question of the day. What do you consider to be a very hard Sudoku? Is it one where you have to use multiple advanced strategies? Or just one strategy that you can't name but you just know it works? Or is it any puzzle you just cannot solve? Please, please, please let me and the other viewers know in the comments and help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. Let's continue here in block 4. Since you have the 1 and the 2 here, and the 3 and the 4, and the 6, 7, and 9 here, you just need a 5 and an 8. Well, with this 8, that's got to be your 8, and that's got to be your 5. So let's continue on now with the 1s. You'll notice that we put that hidden pair of 1s, but there's no other 3 by 3 blocks where there's 2 possibilities or any solves that you can make with the 1s. So let's move on to the 2s. You'll see with these 2s, there are 2 places for a 2 in block 2. So I'll mark that, and no other spots where there's only 2 possibilities. And the reason you're marking 2 possibilities is it shows the restrictions in the puzzle. If we're able to solve this cell for anything besides a 2, you can solve that cell immediately for a 2. It's a very efficient way to mark a puzzle. Let's look at the 3s. With these 2 3s, mark 3s in block 1. Nothing else with the 3s. Go to the 4s. With these 4s, only 2 places for a 4 in block 5. And that's all we can do with the 4s. And with the 5s, we got a little bit more going on. With these 2 5s, we can mark 5s in block 3. And then with this 5 cutting across, row 8, and this 5 coming down, column 2, you have 2 5s here in block 7. But these act as a pointing pair. Since they're in the same row, and they have to be somewhere in block 7, a 5 can't be anywhere else outside the block. You can't put a 5 here or here anymore, because if you do, you have no place to put a 5 in block 7. And since you have a 5 right here, now the only place to put a 5 in block 8 is right there. So pointing pairs, very helpful. And now with this 5 and these 2 5s, 2 places for a 5 in block 5. Now we can move on to the 6s. With the 6s, with this 6 and this 6, 2 6s in block 6. And with these 2 6s and this 6, 6s in block 7. And we're finding those restrictions. You really want to do this part to lead up to get where you can solve the main strategies of this puzzle. Look at the 7s. There's no places where you can just mark 2 places for 7 or do any solves. So move on to the 8s. Okay, with the 8s, 2 8s in block 2. And with these 2 8s, 2 8s in block 9. All right, and move on to the 9s. You'll see with this 9 and this 9, 2 9s in block 1. And so concept number 2, I call this economy of searching. We just look for the easiest solves, the cross-hatching for the singles. We did find a hidden pair. Now you want to ramp up the difficulty a little bit as you go. The harder strategies take a lot longer to find, but the medium do not take too much. So we can study what I call the heavy houses, and you'll get a few more solves here. So let's go back through, and what you might want to look at is this row right here. So a heavy house is any row, column, or block where you got at least 5 cells filled out. You have 6 here, 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, so you need a 3, 4, and a 6. Well, since the 4 and 6 both look at this cell, you can solve that for a 3, leaving a 4, 6 naked pair. And you do want to start marking these pairs at this point because it's going to help with the search economy. This is the next highest level of restriction. First you got the singles, now you got the pairs. Okay, after doing that, with these 3s, 2 places for 3 here in block 6. You want to look at that impact on the row, column, and the block. And then this is a really cool thing that NeoCart put here. You got to find this if you want to set up the main strategy that will bypass all those hard chaining sequences. Check out this column, column 3. You might notice that a 3, 5, and a 6 are all in block 4, so they see that cell, right? Well, a 3, 5, and 6 also all see this cell. So since they all see those cells, where can the 3, 5, and 6 go in the column? Well, they can't go here, and they can't go here, and they can't go in these cells. There's only 3 places left. So this is a 3, 5, 6 hidden pair. It's a hidden pair because you think there could be 1s and 2s there, but there can't. And with this 3, that can't be a 3. But what it leaves is a 3, 5, 6 in these 3 cells, the 4, 7, 8, and 9 here. So the 1 and 2 have to be in those 2 cells. And if you check this cell out, you'd notice that it could only be a 1 or a 2. Couldn't be a 3, couldn't be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So you may have found it as a naked pair, but I just showed you how to find it as a hidden pair. And you might notice too, okay, we have this 1, 2 here that we found right at the beginning, and now you found another 1, 2 pair. There is something going on here, and this is going to lead up to my third important concept. And before we do that, we want to do a little bit more solving here, okay? Since now you got 3, 5, 6 here, you'll notice that the 1 cuts across, and the 1s are restricted to these 2 cells. And so this creates a nice 1, 9 hidden pair. Whenever you see these marks on top of each other, you know you found a hidden pair. The 1 and 9 can only go in those 2 spots, so nothing else can go there. And now with this 4, you have a pointing pair of 4s right here. To go along with this 4, you can mark 4s in block 3. And this leads me up now to that third and most important concept. And to get there, you've got to add the rest of these by-value cells. When you're looking for advanced strategies, you can either mark all the individual single candidates or the by-value cells. We have several by-value cells, and you probably notice these 1s and 2s just seem to be super important. And now we just added a 1, 9 hidden pair right there. So let's see what other by-value cells we have. Up here in block 1, you have the 1 and 9 there. You got a 2, 7, 8. So you just need a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Well, the 3, 6 there means this is a 4 and a 5. The 3, 5 there means this is a 4 and a 6. Okay? And then if you look here, we got this 5, 6. We got this 1, 2. We got that 1, 2. Looking good. We got the 4, 6s here. Okay? And where you're going to find these by-value cells, look in the heavy houses. So we have another heavy house, 6 digits filled out in row 7. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, and a 1, 4, and a 7. I will mark the 1, 4, 7 here, just because it's easy to go through this naked triple. 1, 4 there, because you already have a 7, and that's going to be a 4, 7 right there. So more by-value cells. And then you want to focus here in column 7. Look at this cell. What could it be? Well, it can't be a 6, 7, 8, 9, because of in the column. Can't be a 5 or 2 that's in the block, and it can't be a 4. So the only thing left is a 1 and a 3. So that's another by-value cell. Could this cell? Can't be a 1. Could be a 2 or 3, but it can't be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So that's going to be a 1 or a 3. Or excuse me, a 2 or a 3. Because we do have the 1 right there. And then the last by-value cell is going to be right here. Can't be a 1. Could be a 2. Nope, can't be a 2 because of this 2. Can't be a 3. It can be a 4, but it can't be a 5, 6, 7, or an 8. It could be a 9. So that's a 4, 9 by-value cell. We found all the by-value cells. And so concept number 3 I call it the setter's intent. You could go through here and you can find some XY chains using these cells, and you'll make some eliminations. But there's something so much more beautiful going on here if you look at the intent. So setter's intent means that NeoCart put in, this hidden pair for you to find right away and this naked pair you find because he wants you to use it and use it in a brilliant way. And what is interesting is this cell right here determines what goes in that cell right there. And you're like, okay, Timberlake, how can you possibly figure that out? And I'm going to show you. Because you have all these nice little conjugate pairs, so a conjugate pair is whenever, you have two ones in here, right? So if this isn't a 1, that has to be a 1. If this isn't a 1, that has to be a 2. So within the cell and within the block, you have conjugate pairs. Either it's the value is in one cell or it's in the other, or it's one value in a cell or it's the other. This is the beauty of most advanced strategies. So if you look right here, if this is a 1, that means this cell would end up being a 9, and that'd be a 1, okay? And these two ones would put a 1 right here, which with this one would put a 1 here, and it'd put a 1 right there. Hopefully you can see that. Now, where does the 1 go in block 3? Well, with these ones and these ones, this cell has to be a 1. Okay, got it. So this is a 1, that has to be a 1. Well, what happens if it's the other value? So if it's a 2, what is that going to do for us? Well, it puts a 1 right there, it puts a 2 right there. Okay, no big deal. Until you start looking and noticing what goes on right here. This becomes a 3, that becomes a 1, that becomes a 4. Okay. And now, with this being a 4, this is a 1, that's a 9, wait a minute, that's a 1, hold on. And these ones means that has to be a 1 again. Oh, wow. So if this is a 1, that's a 1. If this is a 2, that's a 1. Another way to look at it, if this is a 1, you saw we made this cell a 1. If it was a 2, by doing all this, you see that this cell ends up being a 1 as well. So you could look at this green cell, which is what I saw first, or you could look at this cell. Either way, they have to be a 1 no matter what the value of this red cell is. This is so beautiful. I love that NeoCart put this in here. You understand setter's intent, you can solve these very hard Sudokus yourself as well. So let's go back, because I don't want to mark anything ahead of time here. And what we figured out is that this cell has to be a 1 no matter what. So if that's a 1, what does that do to our puzzle? Well, it makes this a 4, because you displace that 4 and displace that 5. You can solve that for a 5. Nice. And remember, this 1 means that's a 9, that's a 1. Awesome. And we're going to continue on with some solves here. What else can you figure out? Well, you can figure out that with this 4 right here, this has to be a 1. That's going to make that a 3, make that a 2, make this a 1. Awesome. And then this can't be a 1 anymore. This has to be a 2. All right. We're doing great. And we're going to continue on with a little bit more solves here. With this 2, means this has to be the 1. And with this 1, that's going to be a 1. All right. And then with these ones and this one, this is a 1, displacing that 5. So far, so good. Okay, with this 9 and this 9, and the 9 right here, this is a 9. And you see, this is the beauty of adding all those bi-value cells and all these marks. Now that I solve this for 9, I can quickly solve this for 2, quickly solve that for and 8. And I'm quickly moving through. The gobbling up of all these marks is one of my favorite parts of this puzzle. The more marks you solve now, you know you're on the right path. You know you're getting closer to solving the rest of the puzzle. So let's continue on here. All right. After doing this 9 and this 9, you can solve for a 9 right here. And then, we're going to continue on with our solves. So we got this 8 and these two 8s. You can solve for an 8 right here. And you can solve for an 8 right there. Looking good. Displacing that 8, you can solve this cell now for an 8. Let's continue on here. With this 5, that can't be a 5. Okay, and then these two 5s means this can't be a 5. And so that makes this a nice 3, 6 naked pair. I'll get rid of this extra mark. And now the only place for a 5 is right here in block 1, which means this has to be your 4 now. Awesome. Which means this is a 7, and that's going to be the 4. Okay, where do you go from here? Well, with this 3, 6, you can displace the 5. You know, this has to be your 5, displacing that 6. Full house in column 2. You know with certainty you can solve this now for A2. No place for 2 in block 8, except for right there. Awesome. Okay, and then what do we have here? You're looking for a 9 or a 4 with this 4. You can do the 4 there and the 9 there. Try to do pairs if you can, as much as possible. Right here, you need a 3 and a 7. I don't see the 3 and the 7, so I will mark that. But with this 7 and the 7's in one of these spots, you know this has to be the 7 right there. And this is going to be your 9. Awesome. Which means this can be a 4 there. That's going to be the 6. And displacing that 3. And then you can solve this cell now for a 9. And with this 4, you know, this has to be the 4. I don't see a 7 across row 4, so you can solve that for 7. Always try to look for these full houses. Right here, this has got to be a 6. With this 7, you can disambiguate the 3 and the 7 right there. So far, we are cooking through this. And you go up column 5, I don't see a 3, so that's got to be your 3. Disambiguating the 6 and the 3 right there. Nice. And then you got a 6 and a 7 here. I'm going to pull that 7 up from block 5. There's your 7. And there is your 6. Okay, we just need 2 cells across row 3. A 2. I don't see a 2. And I don't see a 7. So what's the first thing I notice? The 7. So there's your 7 and there's your 2. Awesome. And now you just need a 3 and a 6. So just find the first digit you can. Plop it right there. And our last digit is a 3. Now, apply the concepts you just learned to this next puzzle. Thank you so much for watching.